What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about whether or not you should buy a BMW i3. Used, new, whatever that is. So let's go check it out. Let's talk about it. I've had it for a couple years now, and it's time to go through pros and cons. As a lot of you know, I was in the original i3 ambassador program when I worked for BMW years ago. I think it was like 2014. They flew us all out to San Francisco. We got to do like a product launch, drive these all over San Francisco, have them as rentals. I think that maybe there's a piece of that I have nostalgia for this ugly car. I've had 3 of them, and I think maybe it's because of that. It was a lot of fun. I'll tell you right now, if you work at BMW, that i3 certification ambassador program thing that we did in San Francisco is one of the best things I've ever done for training anywhere, really. We had the cars, we went, we trained, we spent the mornings learning about the cars. We spent the afternoon doing like a scavenger hunt / social media influencer thing. And then in the afternoon, we went to the track and they said, you guys cannot roll these cars on our autocross track. Try. We tried and nobody could. So they're pretty cool cars. But let's jump into what makes this a cool car, what I like about it, the pros and cons, and whether or not I think that you should buy one. All right, let's look at the frunk and the trunk and show you just kind of space on this car. The frunk is interesting because I think I don't know, I've had 3 of these, so 6 years of owning i3s. I've never gotten in here. Now, it is where you keep some of the emergency stuff. This is a bag I got with my first one. They don't actually give you these anymore, or I don't think so. This is my bag from an old one, though. So you do have all your tire repair stuff up here. So I don't know, maybe that's what it's for, but BMW tried to pitch it as being this really cool area for stuff. You almost are never going to use that. There's room for like 2 gallons of milk, maybe. Let's go to the back. The back actually does have a good amount of space. We actually have been to like Costco before, and I've laid the seats down, and I bought a dresser at Costco and had it stick all the way out the back. And then I just tied the thing down. So as far as like a city car, these are actually pretty awesome. They do everything that you need. But I do have still a few issues with the car, the charging. I believe I paid extra for this. I can't remember. I know on the original ones you had to pay $600 or $800 to get the additional fast charge, but I think that the fast charging is standard on them now, and they do that because they know how slow these cars charge and how low the range is. My car has the they sell what they call a BEV and then what they call a REX, and a REX is a range extender. The REX gives you, it doesn't open, I guess, unless I push the button, a gas generator. The gas generator does not turn the wheels. What it does is when the battery, I think, is at like under 10% or maybe 14, it'll start making electricity for the car so that the car can drive. Now, the problem with that is it makes the electricity at the same rate. So if you're burning electricity faster than you're making it, you're going to slow down. So a lot of people don't know that the whole idea with this was to have this really small carbon footprint and to make a great impact on the world. Is that true? Is that the case? I don't know. So the carbon they make up at Moses Lake, Washington, everything there is put together. That's where they, I don't know, harvest, create, build the carbon. And then everything goes to a self-sustained plant in Germany where they build the cars. The cars are pretty interesting. One thing you'll notice, I have the key in my pocket. Comfort access sucks. Comfort access on a lot of BMWs, but this BMW in particular, it's like you have to be like right up next to it for it to work. So the Lexus, I like walk up to it and it's getting ready for me already. So I know that my car is extremely dirty. It is a lease and it is going back soon, and I've kind of let it go to waste. But what's cool about these is they are full carbon shells, so they've got plastics and carbon. I'm sure some structural steel, but the majority of the monocoque is a carbon monocoque. This looks way dirtier than it is because of the way the light's on it. It's pretty dirty, actually. It's a dirty car. Anyway, the cars are built with a lot of sustainable materials. For example, a lot of people don't know that the seats, this is all this material is made from recycled bottles. So this is plastic. This is where your bottles go. So stop throwing them away. I will say that there are a lot of uses for plastic bottles. This weave is pretty interesting here. It looks like a fiber. This is a grass. It is a grass that they grow at BMW. So BMW grows and harvests all the grass for this. This is on the door panel. It's used kind of like a fiberglass material. It's also on the dash. Some of the cars have an option where you can get a eucalyptus wood, again, that they are harvesting at BMW. So that's there. If you have the leather seats, they're a natural tanned process. It's not the same tanning process they use on normal leathers. That's why all of the interior colors you can get on i3s are actually pretty ugly. Just ugly browns and stuff. They just dye them. But that is the point there. Again, the whole idea on the car is to be really environmentally friendly. As far as the inside of this car, one of the things that bugs me, I've had both. If you get the, I think they call it business navigation, you get like the full screen. It's a lot nicer. Drives me nuts when companies just block it out and it just is like, hey, guess what? You should have paid us so that you could have everything there. But anyway, it's kind of ugly there. Little parking pass. Another thing that is absolutely impossible on this, and I'll have to show it, maybe I'll show it, is that the Apple CarPlay on this car is horrendous. Here, let me see if I can show you what I mean. Okay, so Apple CarPlay is really cool on every car that has a touchscreen. You can just hit all the buttons, you can go through it, you can do everything that you need to. What's annoying on this car is you actually have to use iDrive for everything. So let's say that you're here on the map. You have to scroll through everything. Oh, I want to mark that there's an accident on Waze. I've got to scroll through like 8 icons to get to it. Let's say that you want to change music. The music controls when you're on CarPlay do not work. None of this stuff works. I don't know how BMW gets away with saying how great they are. This stuff sucks. The only thing that works when you're in CarPlay is volume. So you can do volume, but you cannot change songs or anything. See, look. So we're here. Again, if I want to change any music, I have to scroll through everything. Look how much scrolling you have to do to get to anything on here. And let's say I'm down here on the bottom, and I want to get back up here to Waze. There's not like a quick way. You have to scroll through everything. Look, it even scrolls to the time up here and then down. So that's a huge, major negative on this car, is how horrible Apple CarPlay is. One other thing, and you'll see I've got basically no range or anything right now anyway, but one thing on here is that the range, I would say your range is maybe 65 to 70% of whatever it says on there. So it says I've got a 14-mile range right now. That is not true. It's maybe 8 or 9 miles, maybe 10 miles, but it's not 14, I'll tell you that. Other than that, I like the car for how it drives. So if I were to take the technology out, if I were to take out how bad they did these screens, if I were to take out how bad the comfort access is, and if we were to just focus on how does the car drive, it's a fun car to drive. That's for sure. But, one other thing. One other big issue I have is this. Induction charging sucks. Period. If you're using navigation, you're using CarPlay, you're connected on Bluetooth, this does not even charge as fast as you're using that power. So you could literally be on this and have the battery go dead while you're using your CarPlay. So not only is that a problem, but also before my current phone, I had an iPhone Pro, just the Pro, iPhone 12 Pro. iPhone 12 Pro in any case at all, even the thin ones, does not fit. So you have this thing that takes up your entire armrest, and it doesn't, you can't take this thing out. It's like a $600 option, and you can't even use it. So those are kind of my main problems. The other thing that's tough, and this is just a design flaw, but it's, I guess, how it has to work. Your seat belts are on the pillar. And a problem with your seat belt being on the pillar is if anybody's in the back seat and you're driving, you can't just like drop people off. You have to unbuckle, open this up, because otherwise, my friends, this would drag across your chest as soon as you open it. So it's like impossible. As far as space goes, like, you actually have a ton of space in the car. So the car's got a ton of space. Adults can sit in the back just fine. One complaint that you do get when people are back there is they cannot roll this window down. Or a lot of them, you can roll the window down. And on this, you cannot. So when you're in the back, you feel a little bit claustrophobic. So that's kind of the walk around on this. Like I said, it's a little bit dirty. All right, so if you want to enable roller mode, there's a button here on the left. Hold that down. We're going to continue to hold it. I think it's like 30 seconds you hold this down. This is for the mechanics. This is something that they've got. Now you can see, now you click. Oh, we just missed it where it said start roller. So let's go back. When you pick the one that you want, we're on start roller, then you hold it down. And then you click. It's going to say test mode. To end it, switch your ignition off. So you're in this test mode. You can see we have no braking system. We have no traction control. Everything now, no ABS. It's all off. Everything is going to say that it's broken. But let me show you what this means you can now do in an i3. I want to show you what the tires look like with about 17,000 miles and light driving. I have not been hard on this car at all until now, so check this out. Kid you not, this is 17,000 miles. They're like race slicks. I just like cut my hand on the cords over here. They're run flat, so run until flat, I guess. One final note on this as we are getting ready to finish out this video is when you buy these, like my lease buyout on this, I think the car was $57K, something like that. My lease buyout's $35, $36. But you can find this same car with less miles, couple more options on it, same year and everything. I've found a few for like 29 to 30K. So lease buyout, not good. If you want a newer one with the bigger battery, 30K is not bad. I mean, you're saving at least a car payment worth of gas just buying electricity. But if you want the real deal, go buy one of the 2014, 2015s. You can get them for like 10 to 12 grand. Bad batteries on them. You only can go like 60 miles, but they're cheap. So if you have a short commute, it's like the cheapest car that you can buy and really have like no issues. So they did have a recall. I actually had a motor fall out on one of these. My first one, the motor mounts broke and my motor fell out and was like dragging. So that could happen, but as long as the motor mount bolts have been changed, you should be fine. One of those original ones, get it checked out, but 10 to 12K, something like that. They are cheap. That is a great car. Buy that one. Anyway, that's kind of my review of this car. Would I buy another one? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.